All right, I'm gonna take you guys on a journey over the next couple videos. Over here we got the G8 engine just about ready to go. I need to get some accessories on there. And we got a huge mess in the garage. The C6 is doing better than ever. Just kidding. I pulled the 408, but let's see what we got here. We're doing a thing. We're gonna see how it goes. So this is uncharted territory for me, but we're gonna build the 2J. I don't know what it's gonna go in, but we'll see what happens with it. Also, no, the 2J is not going in the C6 Corvette. I think somebody's done it, but I can't find any adapters for torque tube to JZ and this and that, and I don't want to go down that huge rabbit hole of figuring stuff out and changing a bunch of stuff that I don't have to. We have about 4 months before the season starts, and I want to compete in the C6 next year. I still need to cage it and get an engine back in it. I sold the 408 and got an LQ4. I was gonna go that route. I'm on the fence whether I want to do that still. There's no reason to change it up. It's what I do. So now we're here. So with that being said, I'm gonna insert some clips of the C6 ripping with the 408. It was fun while it lasted, but it was short-lived for no reason other than my own. It did great. So here's some footage. So now with all that out of the way, we're gonna waste no time jumping on to the C6. We need to do a cage before next season, and we need to get rid of all of the stock factory wiring and everything that's not needed, because it is a cluster, if you know what I'm saying. Aside from that, everything else is pretty much good to go. A few things will be updated, but moving over to here, we have didn't even talk about this a second ago, VVTi head, VVTi short block. We're gonna do rods and pistons in it and put a small turbo on it just to get it to spool up and make whatever horsepower we desire. So moving on into the garage, the next thing I want to cover, basically I'm jumping around a little bit in this video because I got a few different things I want to cover. The C6, the 2J, the C6 plans, and then this LQ9 build. So those are basically the three things that we're going to be carrying on over the next couple videos. So right here, we got an LQ9. I got this as a good to go short block. And I pulled the cam out of it. What was the issue? Oh yeah, I started pulling rods and pistons out because I got some Wiseco pistons for it. And I started finding spun bearings everywhere. Basically all the rod bearings are curled up like they got super hot and they're super worn. So they all fell out of the rods when I pulled those out, and that made me dig even deeper. And I'm glad I did, because we got some roasted main bearings. Luckily, the crank didn't get too hurt. So I'll clean that up and it'll be good to go. We'll toss some parts in there. We got a Hog Nasty cam. And then we got those two bad boys. The Wu-Tang Whistlers are gonna go on that bad boy. And I got some good parts here and there. We also got a 6-liter ready to go here. I need to get that customer. That's a Forge 6.0 LS3 top end, ported heads, LSA blower, big cam. We got to get that going, among just so many other things. The Cts V, we got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to try to pump out these videos. We got a bunch of things to do here. Plenty of work to go around, so I'm going to try to knock everything out and try to stay on top of keeping it documented, and we'll see what we can do. We need to get an engine for the C6 sorted out though. So maybe down below you guys can comment and let me know what route I should go with that. With the LQ4, build a 427, or I don't even know. The options are kind of endless on that one. I could do just an NA, L86, LT1 setup. I don't know. There's so many different things we could do with that. So let me know on that front. And then the Cts V2, we got to build a motor for that. So plenty of work to go around. And just like that, the 2J is in here on the floor. So I need some help from you guys. Yeah. And just like that, the 2J is in here on the floor. I don't have an extra stand to throw it on, so it's gonna sit here for now. So I need you 2JZ gurus to comment. I need or hit me up, whatever you gotta do. I need a rear sump pan. I need non-VVTi pistons. Yeah, GE non-VVTi pistons and a bunch of other stuff. GT valve cover, and other 2J stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting into, but I know I need those things right off the rip. Yeah, I'm gonna cut myself off there. The crank was bad. The crank was hurt, so I put a new crank in it. I got a new crank, some Clevite coated bearings, and got everything together. So I still got a box of parts, coil packs, relocation kit, custom length plug wires. I gotta make those. The turbo drains, I gotta make here to there on each side, there to there. Otherwise, everything's looking good. I need an electric water pump, and I need to order fittings for the turbo feed lines. 1/8 inch NPT to -4, and those will feed the turbos. I need to clean these up. They got a little bit crusty and rusty. And then I got these bad boys, and this is what I'm thinking on each side. Obviously bolt that on and then have this here. But another thing we got to work out is wastegates. Those are in here too. And honestly, the only place I'm they're gonna fit is on the collector, but might have to pitch that in a little bit and then come out with the wastegate. That looks like it might be the only place on each side. Wastegate's on the outside. And then I actually have, where are they? Right here. I got these bad boy, the Screamer dumps. So I'll end up wherever the wastegates are. These will come out of the hood there. But she's looking like she's gonna be pretty rowdy. So if you didn't notice before, it does have Corvette mounts on it. So this is my thought process. I think that might work out in there. We will be ditching the high ram. I got that over here on this LQ9. So I got this thing together also, and I'm thinking that LQ9 might find its way into the Cts V. And then I did do a little bit of work on the LQ4. I just set an intake on there. Yeah, that might have been all I did. I don't remember. So right now I'm working on this LSA setup. I got the battery hooked up and cranked it over to prime the oil, and the battery died. So I'm charging that. I got to get a base tune on the computer and then hook up my fuel pump setup to run up to the rail. But other than that, this thing should be running on the stand tonight, hopefully. So stay tuned. So that'll be cool to see, and the customer will definitely be stoked. And that'll be awesome to get this out of my way so I can get another engine on that stand like the 2J. But also, while we're here, working on a shifter for this T56, because we got this bad boy, which is just, I mean, it's hard to tell with only one hand here, but, or hard to show you, but this thing is slop city. So this should clean it up. All right, so now with this plate here, I'd like to clean that up a little bit, but we just got to drill our 4 holes for this. So basically, we're gonna bolt that straight onto there. So drill our holes where we need them. Luckily, it just fits. And we'll get that mounted up. All right, let's see if I can pull this off one-handed before I run out of storage on my phone. I had to cut out a good portion of this underneath here, this back section, and then I kind of grinded the front, basically so you can get, one-handed here. This piece here moves when you move the shifter around, and it was hitting the plate. So I ground out the sides and the back, and it all clears now. So on the Cts V, if you're not familiar with the T56, in the Cts V application, this bolt hole and this bolt hole bolt this to the chassis, so that's solid mounted. So I didn't use the other piece of the plate because I don't need to. It's all solid. But I just got to figure out this back section, which will be easy. Get a bigger bolt in there and then put washers on each side. The only thing I need to figure out is when I put a nut on this side and I tighten that down, I need it to not clamp down on this so it can still do what it needs to do. But that shouldn't be too difficult.